Mr. Vice President Eric Ate, the Honorable Speaker of the House of Assembly, Dr. Winnie Lobati, the Honorable Chairperson of the Ethics Committee, Ms. Dorothy Ngwa, the Chairman of our Judicial Council, Barrister Mbesa, members of government, county and LGA executives of all 13 counties, civil society leaders, distinguished supporters and sympathizers at home and abroad, valiant Ambazonia State Armed Forces, distinguished financial warriors, fellow Ambazonians. It is a profound blessing to usher this historic moment in our enduring struggle for the realization of our independence as a sovereign people. For generations, we have yearned for true freedom that we have never fully experienced. From the onset of colonial rule, the people of southern Cameroon have been under perpetual subjugation. First, we were colonized by the British under the Victoria colony. Then, with little regard for our rights or aspirations, we were taken over by the Germans, and after Germany's defeat in World War I, the British once again assumed control over our destiny, continuing our subjugation under the United Nations trust system, an extension of colonialism, so to speak, under the guise of UN trusteeship. In what can only be described as a gross betrayal, the United Nations ignored its own resolution that set up the trusteeship system, which mandated the preparation of trust territories for independence or self-government. Instead, when it came to the trust territory of the Southern Cameroons, they orchestrated a pseudo-independence, which they decided to call independence by joining, allowing Britain to cede us to the Republic of Cameroon on the 1st of September 1961, ensuring that our colonization continued, this time under the French hegemony. Britain claims to have ended her trusteeship over the Southern Cameroons on October 1st, 1961, but they left without the mandatory treaty of union that should have been signed between the two Cameroons. But today, we stand at a unique juncture in our history. What a time to be alive. Our generation has pushed the cause of the Southern Cameroons further than any other before. And unlike our ancestors, we have advanced this struggle to a place where the dream of living as a free and independent people in our lifetime is within reach. We in this government have established our footprint on the sands of our history. Yes, we have learned many things along the way. We learn from mistakes and weaknesses, and from the perils of the battlefields, from betrayers and saboteurs, and from the bravery and wisdom of our heroes. We took an oath on the blood of our people to avenge them by bequeathing a free and independent Ambazonia to our children. Today, we know that it is not brute force alone that will secure our final victory. It will require dedication to vision, leadership with foresight, a meticulous plan with an unbreakable focus. Victory in warfare is not given to the mighty. It is only earned by those who think strategically and stay one step ahead of their adversaries. Our adversary is constantly meeting and planning silently. So if we are waiting for their plans to materialize, that's not a winning strategy. At the launch of the 2024 draft season, I announced that this year and the next, we will launch our final push towards our exit from oppression. This stage marks the first of the final 3 stages: the pre-transition, the transition, and the post-transition. And of this, the pre-transition is the most critical. If we falter now, there will be no transition. Success at this stage will define our victory now or victory later. Dear warriors, we have been in the trenches for so long that we may have forgotten why we are here. If we do not focus on the true adversary, the trench itself may become our common grave. There will be no Ambazonia for anyone. The strongest movement in the world can fail, not for lack of strength or will to fight. It can fail through disintegration. For example, each previous wave of our struggle, the waves of 1953, 1961, 1972, 1992, and the various governments that were set by Gojidinka, Professor Anyangwe, Dr. Akwanga, Foson, Justice Alubwede, rose and fought, that ended by disintegration, allowing the status quo to continue. When a movement fails by disintegration, the adversary wins by default. That is the prayer, if I may say, of La Republique today concerning us. They have hired a new crop of saboteurs to do all to end the struggle by disintegration, because they have come to the brutal realization that they cannot conquer us. Those of you against today's exercise, who are discouraging giving here today, those who want to challenge every strategy we put on the table, when they are all ignorant of what the enemy is doing right now, you are working for the enemy. You vigorously campaign against us, calling for boycott and withdrawal of payments. You say things that only La Republique will say against us. Do you want us to believe you are Ambazonian patriots? Let me ask these people something. How does withholding any support for Ambazonia help us to win? At this juncture, do we need more money or less? How can we put together a shovel-ready pre-transitional operational plan without resources? And how can we get the resources without mobilization? Why are we fighting the wrong fight? If we put in place a pre-transition plan based on the actionable intelligence we have, and it turns out it was not needed, what do we lose? And if we fail to plan, then it turns out that the intelligence was correct, what do we lose? A wise woman in Ambazonia in the month of July travels with her umbrella. If it does not rain, that does not hurt her. But if it rains, she will not mess up her head. Our pre-transition fund is not driven by regime change in the Republic of Cameroon. Our liberation timeline is our focal point. Leadership in a constant emergency like ours is the ability to see what others cannot see yet. That is, being prepared before the need to act is obvious. We should not be waiting for the enemy to plan and strike, then we react. We must advance from face to face with purpose. Today, we want to launch our final register of the die-hard liberators of Ambazonia, of those that fought or will fight till the end. Those who join us now will not be marked late or absent. The latecomers can join us now and be counted among the liberators of the land. Those who will wait until the transition itself or post-transition phase will pay a 100-fold, not the little contributions we are asking now. To those focused only on acquiring properties and building their businesses in Ambazonia, taking advantage of the war, let me be clear. Any wealth or property gained by anyone who is absent on our registers will be forfeited to the state. They will be converted into state assets shared to our Ambazonia state armed forces and those who sacrifice a lot to free Ambazonia. Let those who want to know the size and scope of the various penalties we are going to levy ask their leaders, who will gather soon to draft the most consequential pre-transition plan to birth our nation in America. Those using the boogeyman strategy to tell us that La Republique will come to America and catch every one of us and take us to Yaoundé are simply retarded. They wish La Republique du Cameroon really had such powers. In their cheap manipulation, they want you to think of Paul Biya as some great emperor or king of kings who rules the whole world. One that can snap his finger, go anywhere in the world, including America and Europe, and arrest whosoever he chooses. Even Queen Elizabeth, in her prime, could not do that in the least of her colonies. If these people are telling you we should not gather in America because Cameroon will come and pick us up, what would they tell us when we are invited on the table of negotiation anywhere in the world with La Republique present? If you are afraid for your safety, what of me, the face of this struggle? What should I do? Listen, if you are training to catch lions, don't allow a sheep to be your coach. Some of these people should be ashamed of their cheap manipulations. Borrowing from the words of Ronald Reagan, I did not become president. It was trust you, the people of the southern Cameroon, bestowed on me to serve you. I've never imagined myself as the only one capable of leading Ambazonia. I'm simply a comrade who stepped up when Ambazonia was in severe distress. My superiors, my betters, were still figuring out the mystery that suddenly disappeared 10 of our leaders. I stepped forward into the void as one that was willing to be the next to disappear, knowing the same mystery ghost could take me out. I counted the cost on me and my family. I was afraid, but I did not allow my fears to supersede my desire to see a free Ambazonia. Some people say I was very poor, a very poor guy then. Yes, maybe according to a certain definition. But the poor guys stepped forward when the rich and the wise and the powerful were nowhere to be found. None was willing to jump into the same pool that mysteriously swallowed Sisiko Ayotabe, Tassan, and the others. No one could do this except God was with him. My decision to step up almost destroyed my family and my home. Those who think accepting this sacrificial assignment was a favor done to me are suffering from selective dementia. 6 people, complete strangers to me at the time, came to my house to assure me of my security and that of my family, if I would only accept to risk all for the freedom of Ambazonia. They did not promise me a salary. They asked me to jump in for the good of all of us. Let me ask you, if Ambazonia had a presidential villa, and I'm not saying they had one or they have one, but if they had, and I was to live inside that villa to work for free, would you call that house a salary? For 6 years, I have worked full-time for Ambazonia, lost my freedom, watching my back daily for free. Who pays my home security? Who pays my children's fees? Who pays my phone bills? Who pays my health insurance? Who puts food on my table? Who buys me the car I drive? Who fuels my car? Who pays my car insurance? Who takes care of my children? Who pays my electric and utility bills? Who pays my life insurance? Who buys my dresses? Who is saving money towards my retirement, as it is done for all workers in America for 6 years? I'm always sorry for those who run their mouths against me. All I would say is watch and see their end. If you have not realized it, let me remind everyone. If you come against me, you lose. If I come against you, you also lose, because the God I serve is always avenging the righteous when they cry out. I pity those who are being manipulated or paid by La Republic agents to bring me down. The blood of our innocent children and the ghosts of our great patriarchs shall not stop crying at their doorsteps. They shall harvest pools of tears. It shall not be well with anyone who pretends to serve Ambazonia but is trying to destroy our struggle. Watch this saying, because it will surely come to pass, unless this is no longer a God-ordained struggle. Please, in the name of the living and the dead, stop fighting me when I am not fighting you. And I'm fighting La Republic, because God will fight you. Stop hating me when I don't hate you, because God will hate you. Stop pulling down our institutions. Join us to pull down La Republic du Cameroon. I admire the courage of these infiltrators and spoilers of our struggle, but I admire more the intelligence and the resolve of you Ambazonians who are still here with me despite all they have thrown at me. Your presence here testifies one thing. It is either you can see through their lies and wickedness right now, or you are a lunatic to still be here believing in me. And I know you are not a lunatic. I don't think you also need to change the constitution in order to sell the struggle. No one can sell the struggle. I can tell you that. It's not me. If I were to sell the struggle, I would have done it long before some of our no-name activists were known in the struggle. I would not have needed to change the constitution in order to sell the struggle. What you chose to listen to would either inform you or deform you. Some are already deformed. They see things that don't exist. They hear voices that don't exist. They have their own set of facts and reality. Here is their modus operandi. They always start by pretending it is about a bad tire by my side, someone close to me who is evil incarnate. Sounds familiar? But sooner or later, they go full circle and make it about the president. Some of those who blindly supported them initially always feel embarrassed when they come to the realization that the true target was actually the president. Remember, Mr. Abroad the deal started by fighting a member of cabinet. Meanwhile, his real target was the president. When he later came out open and said it is not this one, that it is all about this president must go, I'm told a few of his conspirators told him we did not want it to go to this extent, and they backed off. Beware of those who tell you it is not about this, or it is about this or that and not about the president. Watch and see how the story ends before you clap. For anyone trying to talk to me to take down any of my trusted collaborators in this government, I will not clap for you, because I know I will be your next target. If I'm your leader, listen, please listen. A leader leads with ideas, with instructions, and by examples, and those that recognize him follow him or her. It is hypocrisy to call me your leader and yet oppose everything I adopt or work against it. If you call me your leader, let me lead you. If you want to lead me, then be my leader. If you call me your driver, allow me to drive you. The structure is not a name. It is an organization of people with a head. You cannot say we should follow the structure, but you never subscribe to the leadership decisions. Let us not tear each other down. We here today, we are the hope of Ambazonia. Don't be amongst those that will acknowledge us only after we have left the scene. You understand. You that are still standing here today, supporting us, you are the reason for our continuous hope in victory. See how La République du Cameroon is fighting to defend their carcass. Do you think if I'm no longer here today, it will be a plus? Be careful of what you wish for. It might just come with the next order and will be a great surprise. Fellow financial warriors, let us stand united in this generational assignment to deliver our people from slavery. The fewer we are, the more the individual sacrifices we are called up to make. That's why if we had even 200,000 to 300,000 from the recent federal draft, we will have probably contained the pre-transition operations without this launch, this exercise today. For those who are drumming up concerns about accountability, we will get accountability from all the counties and from the federal government at the end of our financial year. That means in January 2025, as we normally do. That is before the launch of the next financial year, which begins with the draft. Let's not give in to innuendos. Together we are writing the final chapters of our story. Please, give today as if you did not draft this year at all, so that in the months ahead, before we ask, what are we doing? Or what can we do now because of what is going on? You should be able to ask, what have I contributed for anything to be done? Don't be among those who don't draft. They are quick to ask, what have we done? Or what are we going to do? It is in our own interest to forgive each other and focus. It is in our interest to give what we have. Think of those who died, hoping we that remain will not fail. Think of those who are crying at home and looking up to us for their freedom. Think of those in the trenches who cannot surrender, who cannot stop fighting lest they will all be killed. Like my son Sako, Tiger, and so on. They lost their limbs and had serious injuries, but they did not stop fighting. What is your excuse? Let us march forward with purpose and ruthless determination for Ambazonia, because the future of Ambazonia is in our hands. Viva the never again generation. Thank you for coming out again, and God bless our beautiful country.
Praise the Son, our Savior, who granted Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you.
Thank you,
Very emotional speech.
Mr. President, thank
Very
you.
emotional one.
Thank you,
Very point. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Bless you, Mr. President.
You have put the nail on the head.
Thank you so much, our
President.
God bless you. God will cover you.
God will protect you from your enemies.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We are so happy.
Mr. President.
Mr.
President.
God who elected you for us. Behind you. It's around you.
Touch not my prophet and do my servant no harm.
You have hit a mosquito with a bazooka.
Yes.
Always staying ahead of the game.
Yay.
Mr. President, you made me cry.
Yes.
All forces of darkness
Being an emotional night.
be sent to the pit of hell.
President, yes, speech is very, very touching. Very, very touching. Brought my eyes. Listening to your
Big protection on you.
Thank
you.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Maya.
100.
God everybody.
Mr. President, thank you for your faithful heart. Thank you for your ministry.
Emotionally.
Thank you.
All those
You is
You have a heart of gold. You have a heart.
Thank President for me.
Thank
let
you.
them come out 700.
No weapon fashioned against us and darkness against shall be sent to the pit of hell.
Let's
In the
go.
mighty name of Jesus.
They should go now and make more audios. Let them go now and make more audios and talk.
Thank you today is
There is a way an educated man speaks.
It's a God ordained struggle.
Thank you. Let's go.
And nobody who fights God can win.
Amen.
How can we glorify God? How can we glorify God? Thank God for you, President Sako. Thank God for you.
Now they should go making more audios.
Thank you.